From the creators who brought you The Adventure of Aladdin and the excitement of The Little Mermaid comes a tale of mystery, suspense, and a great big adventure in The Great Mouse Detective. Disney's 26th animated masterpiece is coming to video. When a beloved toy maker disappears,
Delightfully wicked.
there's only one mouse for the job.
Basil and Baker Street, my good fellow.
Together with his trusty sidekick, he's ready to crack the case.
Your father is as good as far, Miss Flamhammer.
Flavisham.
Whatever.
But only if he can stop us.
Slimy, contemptible sewer rat. Tricky and wicked, of course.
To Radigan, the world's greatest clever boy.
The clues are in.
Basil on the case.
The pressure is on.
I'm right behind you, Basil.
And the adventure is about to begin.
To Buckingham Palace.
Say cheese
Smile, everyone.
for the mouse who always gets his man.
I thought I'd never find you.
Elementary, my dear Dawson.
And the film Joel Siegel calls magic. And Siskel and Ebert give 2 thumbs up to your collection. Disney's animated classic, The Great Mouse Detective. Coming to video August 31st, 1999.
Miss Lanchester.
Flavisham.
Whatever.
Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?
It's a great trailer. I love how he keeps getting the name wrong. And it's only watching it again. Obviously, I've seen this film loads, but when he says whatever, I was thinking that's quite like a modern styling for like just like whatever. It's like kind of like a teenager would say something.
Yes. Let's see who's here. Richard's here. Was one of his and his dad's favorite Disney movies. So, good. Watching along. Excellent. Hang on. Let's bring it up. Let's move you there. Right. No interest in the film. He's here for Dave.
I appreciate that. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, you've only got an hour and 15 minutes to worry. So, evening armchair. Oh, sorry, Josh. Saw it at the cinema when I was like 4. So my memories of TV and later Blu-ray viewings. Byron likes this one. I don't think I missed it at the cinema. This was 86.
Well, it's funny that somebody should say about watching it when they were 4, because my mate Tommy, who I went to college with, and for years and years, I've always talked about getting the Savoy, my local cinema, and over and over again, I said, I saw this at the Savoy, saw that at the Savoy. But I'm a few years older than him. And then just randomly one day he goes, yeah, I saw Basil at the Savoy when I was 4. And I was like, how come you've never mentioned that before? It was like 10 years before he mentioned it.
One of the most important films.
Yeah.
So yes, July 2nd, 1986 in America, and we're October 10th, 1986. Not too far behind then.
Ooh, that's pretty good for it back then, because sometimes
is.
it'd be months and months, wouldn't it?
Yeah, by the late 90s, we were a year behind. Byron's here. Hello, Kenneth's here. The next, choose The Lion King. Ooh.
I used to watch The Lion King all the time, and I haven't seen it for years now, but I used to love that movie.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I did see it in the cinema, though. So, spoilers for everyone. Condor Man. I have done Condor Man many years ago, I think. I can't remember now.
Condor Man is a lot of people would say Condor Man is a guilty pleasure, and I just think it's just an absolute quality film.
Yeah. So, I think it didn't. I think my release is 92, not that there's a date on it, but I think I had Lion King and Little Mermaid on the trailers. Andy's here.
Oh, hi, Andy.
But as you saw from that advert, the VHS had a re-release in 1999. Okay. Oliver and Company might have been delayed. But yeah, no surprise there. Fucking Palace. I think you misheard that. You got headphones. Showing the range with the movies this month, yes. With Beast and Heat to bloody Christmas on my mind to this now. And then Rocky 4 and Jeff's channel on the Friday. Come back, Hallmark, all's forgiven. Oh dear, we got found the level. He's
well, it's funny, Michael should say that actually, because watching it earlier on, I was actually thinking for a Disney movie, there's some part, I know Disney have got a bit of reputation for like, Bambi's mum being shot and stuff like that, but there's a couple of parts in when I was watching Basil, I was like, wow, this isn't a Disney movie. It seems like it just kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
Dark Disney of the 80s with Dark Crystal. No, not Dark Crystal. What is it? Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
Yeah. Hey, Dragon. One of my favorite Disney animated films, along with Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Fantasia, and Sleeping Beauty. There you go. Oh, Ian's here. He loves this. He's actually seen it. Sean's here. He knows it. He's not a rat. So, yeah. A lot of fans. Like Ramon's here. Is he a fan? We'll see. You're gonna fist me, okay? Yes, well, as usual, I've taped them on here, so not much I can do to take them off. But that's, but they stink now. They're all clean. They're not touching my physical head. Ooh, Lion King. How have they not gone flaccid yet? They're pretty. Was it? There's a piece of metal running through the shaft, as it were, to keep it upright.
And as well, it's probably the reason you're doing this, but I think it's interesting with Basil that it's got a funny connection to Christmas, because I've seen so many people that watch this movie around Christmas time, and I just thought it was just me. I don't know why. I never think of it being. Is it set in like June or something? I think the actual.
Yeah, I can't remember. Apparently, there's no daylight in it, so. Right, well, there we go. I also want to recommend Secret of the Nim. Yes, that's an old one. Haven't seen it for years.
I feel like I've never seen that, and I love Don Bluth. But what's kind of funny though, because I've seen Don Bluth doing loads and loads of conventions, and I keep thinking, oh, I'd love to go see Don Bluth at a convention, but I feel so guilty that he's like 137 years old, and I'm thinking, should he really be doing conventions? But if he's happy doing them, then that's fine with me.
Yes. I have to check on. I think there's a Secret of the Nim 2, isn't there, that came out in the 90s, like a cash grab.
I think there is. That sounds really familiar.
Black Cauldron is a masterpiece. Wish that longer one would turn up one day, but most of it was destroyed. Typical. Yeah, we'll never need that again. Don't think I've ever watched an entire Disney movie. There's not many I've seen all the way through, but right. Here we go. So Disney Pictures, I think. Right, let's see where it goes. So this is The Great Mouse Detective in America, and then it's Basil, The Great Mouse Detective here, which I still don't know why. Did you find out why?
No, I think there was a thing about like they were just, I don't know, changing loads of Disney titles for some reason, and I think it's got 3 different titles. I read a different title that I'd never read before, and I don't know why, because it was successful apparently, and I can understand sometimes when they change a title when it wasn't successful, but I guess we're just on a whim, I suppose.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And well, this film doesn't make any sense because they've got a mouse world and a human world, but
but then again, I think with any kind of like Disney movie, once you've got or any kind of animated movie, when you've got talking animals, and then it just becomes, and they're all like standing on their hind legs like human beings, and they've got eyebrows that are led like humans and stuff. But I know what you mean. It doesn't. Well, the thing that didn't really make sense to me, I love how some of these clockwork toys, like this one that's on screen right now, like that's pretty advanced for 1897. That's like for a clockwork toy.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And then the robot we get later.
And my maths is really terrible. Oh, sorry.
No, carry on.
My maths is really terrible, but I worked out it's like 128 years ago, and I was thinking, I don't know why. I know it's a long time ago that it we 1897. It's not exactly yesterday, but I was like 128. That seems like a long time.
It doesn't seem that long ago. Ian's never properly seen Star Wars or Disney movies, but can speak about obscure Italian cult horrors. There you go.
It's funny when you should say that though, because I feel like when anybody from roughly from our generation, you asked them what the first film they saw at the cinema was, and I felt like most people would say a Disney film. So it's interesting that you dodged that bullet, Ian.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe it's because fucking clickety click. Maybe it's because Americans went out calling it Basil.
Nope. That is probably the point. I bet that's right.
Basil faulty. Bugs on me now. Hang on. There's Doctor. The film never had a big box rental treatment in UK. I think it first popped up on retail in the early 90s. I might have a first edition then of many millions.
Which we should hold up that video, because this is the one that's been in my family for a long time, and it was only really until really recently. I'm pretty sure this is a pirate copy, because it says $13.99 here, and it looks, the printing's rubbish on it, and there's no Disney hologram on the spine. So I'm pretty sure my dad must have got this from Working Men's Club or something.
On the other hand,
mine's just a blank bit there.
Well, sod Disney. Yes, music by Henry Mancini, of course.
Well, it's funny about Henry Mancini though, because he did Santa Claus the movie, which I really love. He did this, which I really love. But I think this is what really annoys canon. What really annoys people who don't like canon is Henry Mancini did the music for Life Force And how can you do a film like this and Life Force within like a year of each other or something?
Because they're very clever, I'm sure that's the reason.
And as well, I'll say, to be fair, it's most of this film is like this, but I'll say it while it's on screen. Any scene with fog in, I mean, I'm not the best drawer or painter or artist anyway. I don't know how you can draw fog. That just doesn't make no sense to me. Like, it's just like, oh, water. I'm like, yeah, draw water.
Yeah,
Like
that.
And there's one part where when my mind's gone blank, Olivia, when they put Olivia in a glass bottle, and I'm like, how'd you draw see-through glass? It's just like,
well, there is some computer animation later on, so we'll get to that.
I'm glad you said that first because I was thinking, oh, when should I mention the CGI in this movie? I was like, oh god, no, I'm that CGI guy.
I've got a few Disney big boxes. I got a Peter Pan big box that when they re-released that, but not many animated films. But
yeah, I'm just thinking about the Disney big box films. Thinking about it, I just assumed they did. And I was thinking, yeah, did they?
Because entertainment movie, I enjoy almost any traditional animated movie. Not a fan of CGI era. Yes, that's happening a lot these days. Someone's going back to hand drawing now. Animation, some company.
Yeah, I think people ping pong back and forth, and like Disney did it with the Princess and the Frog. I think like every so often there's just one film that comes out. But because I'm looking at my notes, I just noticed when the 4 directors came up at the start. I went on IMDb this afternoon, and 2 of them had passed away, but 2 of them have got a brand new Disney film coming out in like next few months. It's like Aladdin on Broadway or something like that. I was thinking they've had a good run working for Disney. That like they've still got Disney films coming out. Like
yes, the old white men. How are they still got a job?
Yeah. No, boo. I mean, what? And as well, talk about people who've still got jobs. This is the complete reverse of that. And it's one of the writers, his name's something Young, and I clicked on his name just on a whim, and he died when he was 37. And that freaks me out so bad. Like when I just assume that most people live longer than that. It's like, oh no. Did we bring the mood down?
Yeah, there's going on. There's Sherlock Holmes.
Basil Rathbone.
Yes, and then why is Basil called Basil in this? Because of Basil Rathbone, of course.
And I read somewhere apparently there's a Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes where he goes somewhere in disguise and his name's Basil. So I thought that was it's probably just a coincidence kind of thing.
I think there's 13 Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes movies. Most
of them. I think that's what I read too. Yeah.
In the 40s. What was I looking up? I don't know. So yes, Vincent Price is in this, coming up later.
Well, I love how Vincent Price though, because like you think what an absolute run he had there. I was watching Last Man on Earth a few days ago with Vincent Price, and that's like almost like the precursor for Night of the Living Dead. And then he was in so many of the old great like Hammer movies and things like that. Then he was like the voice on Michael Jackson's Thriller. Then he's in this, and it's just like keeps going and going. One video, oh god, Edward Scissorhands. I think I've only ever seen that once, so it's always dead vague. But one Vincent Price thing, and I don't know where I got it from. It was a VHS video called American Screams about theme parks and amusement parks and things like that. But the one thing that always sticks in my head is he called roller coasters. And I don't know why I was such dead quaint. And I'm somebody who talks my pronunciations all over the place, but I just thought it was really sweet. They call them roller coasters.
Oh, here we go. The offensive Chinese stereotypes.
Well, I thought this earlier on, because I've seen this film loads, but when I was watching it earlier on, just to get fresh in my mind, I was thinking, why do I always get picked for Beyond the Racist video tasting streams? But it's maybe just my I'm that age now.
Different times. I might grow a Fu Manchu moustache myself.
That would be excellent.
Now, see here. So yeah, somehow the mouse that lives under Sherlock Holmes is exactly the same as Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Well, it's funny actually watching the DVD featurettes. I've seen the two main people doing Basil and Dawson. But one story that I always thought was the sweetest story ever, my mate Tommy, who I mentioned earlier on, and Curtis, who I went to college with, they wrote a book about George Romero. And when they went to a convention, there was loads of different people there. And one of them was Barry Ingham, who was the voice of Basil. He was on the table next to him. He said, "Do you want me to do the Basil voice for you?" And he said, "Yeah." And apparently, my mates got dead emotional because they were like, "He's doing the Basil voice."
Hello, Basil.
To be fair, though, if I saw Barry Ingham do the Basil voice in front of me, I would probably cry. And I wouldn't. That's not even. It's hard to act hard.
Oh, yeah, bless him. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they even have the same style of housekeeper. I'm sure. Was it past the license for copyrights on Sherlock Holmes? Because they could have gotten pretty much done for everything in this.
Well, I think there's such a fine line in because you're 100% right, but with this, you can do like parodies and references and stuff.
Parody.
But I mean, to be fair, they play it straight a lot. Obviously, it's kind of quote unquote serious. But yeah, I think you're more right than my point there. How did they not get sued, or at least it's
Disney money?
Yeah. This was one part though, and talk about CGI that's in it later. That part where they're looking at the bullets through the.
I thought that was real. That looks real.
Yeah, there's something really. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's just like they've traced over some footage of
scoping, like you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that's right.
Although, Josh has got big trouble with China Beta that he can't play because they've lost his player.
One thing I was quite chuffed with, I got these 2 Funko Pops, and I only thought there was 2. Somebody was selling them on eBay, and I thought I'll get both of them. And it wasn't until they arrived on the back. Olivia's one of them. I was like, no. That one's super expensive though. It's really, really expensive. Yeah.
It's the. There we go. So, young lady, this is the most opportune time. But yeah, we are 10 minutes in, there's only an hour left. So there we go.
Well, that's one thing about these movies like this. They just rocket along. And this is one thing talking about modern movies. One thing I don't really understand how loads of modern movies aimed at children are really long. Loads and loads of newer animated movies on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's like kids and then when they have loads of trailers on beforehand, loads of kids must be losing their mind.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, a real rodent. There you go. Oh, I think the market crashed recently on pop vinyls. Yeah, there's how many millions of them now?
Yeah. Oh, well, there's way too many. And it's funny, I'm dead glad that got brought up, actually, because I tried really, really hard to I just myself, I don't want to get involved with buying Funko Pops there. They're just they're so silly. And then I brought a John Deacon one from Queen because I thought it was so ridiculous. It was a John Deacon Funko Pop, and then I was like, and I think I've only brought 6 to this date, but I feel like, I wish I'd never even bothered.
Rattigan. Because when before Vincent Price was cast, Rattigan was a small, weak figure, and then they did him up.
I've always found that fascinating when the way different characters are realised. Because was it like Ivan Drago in Rocky IV was meant to be like a really big, almost like caveman type guy, and then when they cast Dolph Lundgren, they were like, completely change it like that.
Yeah, they lost most of his dialogue. He thought it was more better as a silent type.
I love about this though as well the way that they all plotted this movie as robot clones and kind of how ahead of the game it is kind of thing that because now you can imagine it being. I know this film's set 100 years ago or something, but I kind of love that it feels kind of modern at the same time.
Because you just got the tractor tank controls, but they seem to do everything.
Well, that's when you say about this film doesn't make sense. That's something that as a kid you would just completely roll with it. Oh yeah, those 2 controls do everything. It's I get. But that said, though, I'm always amazed those wheelchairs that people who can only move the top from the neck above or anything like that. And you can do so much stuff with just breathing in that pipe. It's how does that work?
Oh yes.
And as well, I noticed watching this earlier on. And again, I've seen this film loads, so it's probably subconsciously all gone in there. But how many little flourishes they did in this movie, like the way like water sprays out of things or the sounds things make. And I think it was because I was just paying so much attention to it. And just like the way the smoke comes out of people's cigarettes or the way when Basil's mixing a potion and a little drop will go down into a glass and it'll change the colour of what's in the glass.
How do you change colour with some ink and paint?
It's really great.
But then you can see the plan in the background where replacing the Queen with the robot on the drawings.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to have a look for that. I think I missed that earlier on.
Hang on. Miss it. It's weird. Stupid VHS. I'm on the... Pause, you bastard. There we go. A bat with a limp and a broken wing. You got fucking Funko Talks now. Right. Railroad's got Alien Queen, Alien Drone, Gandalf, Gollum, Treebird, Alan Grant, a Raptor, Gizmo, and Ghostface. That is it. I've got none because they're a slippery fucking slope.
Yeah, that I think, like I say, you've definitely done the right thing there because I wish I'd never started. And they're so clever that there's so many of them that there's always going to be one that at least catches your eye. That maybe or should I? Because it's literally everything. And I don't know, this company's just managed to get the rights to like everything.
Yeah. Because it was all right when it started. There's a few specials, but now there's literally any character.
And I love how there's stuff like Clockwork Orange right next to like Mickey Mouse or something. It's like, how do those two things ever coexist?
It is a nice tree.
Oh, nice one. Cheers. Thank you, Michael. Oh, well, what's funny though, that tree is really old now, and the bulbs on it, I don't know how old those bulbs are, but they're those bulbs that are kind of frightening that I feel like I never dare would leave this tree on and like go out the room for like half an hour because I feel like they're those really old-fashioned lights that could just set on fire at any moment.
Yes, the old 70s one with a bit of tinsel on and one wrong move and all of them don't work because of one slightly off.
But all my decorations though as well, like I've got, like I don't really move the camera too much. I'm just going like because I've got loads of wires everywhere. I've got to trip over, but I've got like an old jingly, like a jangle thing that goes by the door, and it's like a 40-year-old Christmas decoration. Like nearly all my Christmas decorations are like ones that have been in the family for a long time. And when like my parents passed away, I thought everybody would like be a fight for these decorations, and everyone's just kind of going throw them away. And I was like, what? It's just like,
yes. Off to Sottery with you. I'm having them.
I tried to read the text on the newspaper. I tried to read that text, but I don't know if it was just like
I think it's like
generic text.
Yeah, just lines that they just put in with shapes. But Vincent Price is singing, or talking, rapping. One of them.
Is this one of the last Disney? Well, not one of the last Disney films, but I've not hate the phrase when people say, "Oh, you can't do this now," or "You could never get away with it now." But there's this scene where Rattigan makes the cat eat the drunk rat, and then the way he's like completely drunk, and they're all smoking and drinking. I was just thinking that would never fly now. It was just like,
yeah, that definitely wouldn't. Yeah, how dare they do real life things? Right. So where's that lizard from? I think it's from something else, but I forgot what it was in the trivia.
Yeah, that does sound familiar thinking about it. I can't place it off the...
I thought I recognized it when I watched this, but first time I ever saw Funkos is when I came to YouTube and started watching other people's movie collection vids. Yeah, usually movie collectors have them. There you go. Turn around. Your tree's gone up like Clark. Wow.
No.
He's not. Oh, he's not a Funko fan, but he does have two signed Superman. A man one. There you
go. That's not a bad way to start a collection, though, is it? If you've got anything signed.
Ah, yes. Oh no.
Oh, talk about signed though. Because did you say you'd had a Naked Gun video?
As you mentioned it.
But literally today, I had an envelope come through the post and had a sign on it from customs. And I was like, what have I had from America? Couldn't think of anything. And it was my Black Creek Blu-ray.
Nice.
And a signed picture from Cynthia Rothrock saying to Dave, thank you. So I was like,
hang on. Hold that up. Hold both of them up. That's good.
Oh,
Hang on. Keep them still. Don't move. Don't move. There we go. I'll send that to my mate Cynthia for you. There you go.
Oh, nice one. Oh no, I really appreciate you doing that though, because I was trying to think, how can I say thank you for because like I say, obviously I invested when I had a little bit of spare money, I'd invested money into it, so it wasn't like it was free. But at the same time, I never ever thought I would get my name in the credits to a Western, and the fact that it's on the first line as well, I'm like the third name or something. So it's like, oh my god.
Nice. Every time I see one of these Kickstarter films I've watched and I look at the credits, I'm like, hang on, there's my name. I'm putting money into this.
Well, can you imagine though, when like you were like a teenager or like younger, if you said like you'd have your name in the credits for a film and have signatures by some of these people where you've rented the movies over and over and over again, it's just insanity to me. I've never lost enthusiasm for anything like that. Like to me, I know they're just normal people, but to me, like they've provided so much entertainment for me. I'd much rather give my money to somebody like that than buy pirate copies or something. Having said that, I've got a pirate copy of
Basil.
Well,
hang on.
Right next to the hypocrisy. I didn't buy that though.
Statute of limitations on that.
Hashtag excuse.
Yeah. If I could type, what's happening in the film?
I was just going to say, well, it's funny because I think when you paused, I tried pause, and I think I'm very slightly out of sync now.
Yeah, hang on. They're still dancing. Rattigan to Rattigan.
But that kind of funny as well, how times have changed, though. The fact that, like, Rattigan in this is like the evil bad guy, and then you fast forward like 25, 30 years later, and in the Remy and Ratatouille is like a dead sweet rat, and like he's dead lovable. It's still one of my favorite ever Disney featurettes, though. On Ratatouille, there's a featurette called My Friend the Rat, and it's saying how good rats are and how clever they are and how much they've helped human beings over the years by studying like evolution and biology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And right at the very end of the featurette, there's a big massive disclaimer saying, do not interact with rats. Disney does it all. And like the rats are trying to push it out. The rats are trying to jump on the disclaimer, like push it out of the way, saying we knew this would happen.
Even though I have seen loads, I own a remarkable lack of Rothrock films, but he does got Undefeatable, which is an odd one to have of all of them.
I think though sometimes though, and I'm not to say it for sake, I think some of these people like Cynthia Rothrock or some of the martial arts people like Michael Dudikoff, like I try to get all the Michael Dudikoff films and I thought I was doing dead well, and then there's like a million of them. Like
he was very busy, still is.
Well, I'm always based on Michael Dudikoff, and like he seems like he hasn't aged. Anytime I see Michael,
he does. He looks really good, bastard.
Yeah, he's like it's like looks like he's 40 or something.
Defeatable. Hang on, Rich Evans. Who's Rich Evans? Do I know that person? Is it a footballer or a wrestler?
Or a rapper? Like that name seems like it could be almost anybody. I feel like I should know, but I'm terrible with names.
Oh, you got Mario Andretti. I got some tats. I've never got tats.
I'm glad you said that as well, because like I feel so weird I don't got a tattoo. So many of my friends have got tattoos, and people in a million years I never thought would have tattoos, and it's like that's something that's completely changed in my lifetime, because the only people that had tattoos were like truck drivers or people who've been in jail or something, and it was just like,
yeah. Well, yeah, I could never decide what I want permanently, so I just change.
Well, I talked to my friend about that though, but I feel like though there's a few things, and obviously I feel like I know you relatively well, but I feel like there's a certain group of things that like you could probably group it to 2 or 3 things that you've been into ever since you were like 10 or something. But then again, you've still got to narrow it down to, and I feel like Funko Pops though as well, that most people get like 1 tattoo, and then once you've had 1 tattoo, you have like 10, don't you?
Yeah, why not stop? I don't see the point in sleeves, the black sleeves. That's a lot of tattooing when you can just have a shape or something, but then a whole black arm.
I almost quote unquote feel sorry for people with tattoos though, because I think once you have a tattoo, like if you ever want like wear a suit or you want to try and look respectable in a certain way, and then you've got like this giant tattoo or something. But I mean, they're obviously cool. I mean, they just it's something I'll probably never ever get around to it. This is I don't know where I love that reveal where. As I say, I think I'm slightly in front or slightly behind. But when they say, you're not coming with us, like you've got to stay here. And then as the door opens, you just see her sitting there. I think she's come with it.
It's just like Commando, isn't it? I say, Basil, who is this Toby chap? And of course, I can't remember if it's the same name as the Bloodhound in the Sherlock Holmes books or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. It would make a lot of sense.
There you go. See, oh yes, much like the young Sherlock Holmes we watched this month or whatever it was. This does have CGI gears in the clock scene at the end, but whether it's the first, it didn't say.
I think there's stuff before this because last Starfighter from '84 had CG. All the ships were CG, and
yes.
there's a Michael Crichton film called Luca that's got CG in. And then there's some real tenuous ones, like I think Westworld has got like 2 seconds of CGI in it or something like that. And then and I'm surprised I don't really gravitate towards this because it's right up my street. But I think Rear Window, the intro to Rear Window was done with computer controlled cameras or something. That did from like NASA or something crazy, and that's from like 1950 something or whatever. But I think the proper first CGI that you can see on screen is Westworld, I think, which is 73, I think.
Way back before anyone thinks it was.
Well, that's one thing with me over the years. It makes me laugh every single time I watch a making of, but you can watch a making of from like the 80s and they'll say it's before CGI, which is pretty much kind of true. Then you'll get one from like 1990, they'll say, oh, it's before CGI. And then you'll get ones after like Jurassic Park and T2 where they go, it's before CGI. And you're like, this film came out in 1999. What are you talking about? No.
Well, yes, that's the same with was it? They said Top Gun Maverick. That's all real planes and no CGI. When half the planes are just copies and pastes of other planes that they've already created.
Well, I was saying to my mate earlier on, that's a good example. But the one I really love is Mad Max Fury Road. The way they always say, oh, it was this great practical effects movie, and tons of that was CGI.
Yeah, the whole they all did drive, but not maybe at the same time.
And all the sandstorms and everything, and little things like that. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, the Furiosa was a lot worse. It was less obvious in Fury Road, but Furiosa is obvious every back.
Oh yeah, well, Furiosa. I mean, I gave a lot of slack for a lot of films, but I saw that film once, and I've never wanted to watch it again. The one little scene in Furiosa, though, that I feel like I'm really surprised doesn't get mentioned is there's one part where you see actually Mad Max watching over he's in the interceptor on the top of a cliff watching stuff going on in the bottom, and I've heard nobody mention that. I thought the internet'd be all over that going, oh, who's the guy who's playing Mad Max, and oh, what's that scene represent or something, and it's like there was like, nah.
It's just it's just shoehorning him in so they can call it Mad Max, isn't it?
Yeah, probably that's a good call to be fair.
Oh, there's an owl in Labyrinth. Is that an early CGI animal?
That is a CGI.
Is it the one that flies at the screen at the beginning, or is that?
Yeah, that's a CGI one. That's good call, yeah. But Labyrinth, this almost seems sacrilegious to say, but because it's like Lucas and it's Walter Davis and David Bowie and everything. And I think I've seen that film twice all the way through, and it's like this, it's genre classic. But when I'm just looking at my notes, but obviously they mentioned Baker Street loads in this movie, don't they? Yes. And one of my favorite ever urban legends is Bob Holness did the saxophone solo on Baker Street. And I know I'm like 95% certain it's not true, or 99% certain it's not true, but I always think God, it'd be ace if it was.
Yes. He's so cool. Hello, Iron Man. VHS looks better on glass screens on the old CRTs. All that plastic rubbish. Oh. Labyrinth approximately 1 billion times. Well, I suppose I better do that next year at some point.
Well, like it's one of those things where, like, again, normally I feel like I can defend a lot of things I say, but I've got no excuse for not being into Labyrinth. It's not that I think it's a bad movie. I just, for whatever reason, just completely. I saw it once on BBC Two one Tuesday night, And I think my niece bought it once on VHS, and she lent it me. And I think I watched it then, and it's just not on my radar. I don't even really know why. 'Cause again, it's a good movie.
I used to watch it loads as a kid. I always liked Siddimus the fox on the top. The dog is just like flopping around as it runs off. But and
it always kind of makes me laugh that one of my niece, every year, somebody always buys it a labyrinth calendar, and it's like one of those things when you say you like something, and then for the next 20 years you get that present over and over again. And so it's like, I think now until the end of time, my niece will get a labyrinth calendar.
But yes. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's like people complaining modern CGI is rubbish, and Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 are nearly 40 years old now. And
I'm glad Ian mentioned that, though, because one thing I think that Jurassic Park does it really well, and I think T2 does it really well, is they've got tons of CGI in, and nobody could deny that they've got loads of CGI in. But I love how they've got like puppets in there, or like people, like somebody's like twin is playing like the T1000 or something.
Rear projection, everything.
Yeah, so it kind of throws you off guard a little bit. I kind of love that. I said to somebody the other day, though, and this always, I think, is the quaintest thing ever. When T2 was a brand new movie, there was a UK magazine called Fear, and it had Terminator 2 on the cover. And when you open the cover, there was a little thing by the editor, and it was boasting about how it was done on Photoshop. They were saying, "Oh, we've got this new thing called Photoshop, and it's dead cool how you can pull images together and blend it together." And I was thinking, imagine a magazine now saying, "Oh, we've done it on Photoshop." You'd be like, oh, "Well done."
Yeah. So yeah, there is almost no CGI. I think because a lot of the silver effects is him in a suit, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, in fact, yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's only
I still don't
morphing stuff, I guess.
Still to this day, though, some of the very first times I ever saw morphing, I'll never forget watching Top of the Pops on a little black and white TV, and when the Michael Jackson song "Black and White" came on, and it got to that morphing part, I nearly fell through the floor. I was like, "How are they doing?" I literally could not think how they were doing it.
Yeah, and now we've got the AI doing it, where you get moving photos. Yeah, it's the morphing. The Gallimaya Stampede and the full-size T-Rex, I think, is when you see all of it. It's these fucking toys. They're not exactly hours of fun, are they? Just a robot fucking violinist.
I've always thought that was funny about like any kind of clockwork toys, though, that like, and I thought that about Santa Claus the movie when I was watching that the other day, that like, that even in the 80s, I thought, well, it's all well and good Santa Claus making these wooden toys, clockwork toys, but how does he make like a not PlayStation, but like a Master System or something, or a Nintendo Entertainment System? Because they were brand new toys at the time.
Who's in the baby carriage?
Well, I was thinking that earlier on, though, as well, because this must have been in production when Gremlins was out, and I'm sure they must have built a little bit of that character around the Gremlin, because yeah, I mean, I don't know if they changed it halfway through and was like, yeah, let's make that a bit Gremlin-like. And it's even the thing about with the ending of this film being CG, that if this film came out in 86, they were obviously planning it 2 or 3 years before that.
Well, yes.
How far into the project were they like, oh, let's do this CGI? And funnily enough, though, I read it only a couple of hours ago. Apparently, the inside, when they go in the inside, it's based on a Japanese movie from 1979. So I'm going to have to try and check that out, see how much they ripped it off or just copied it or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I miss. No, that's right. Saw Died 2 at the cinema the other night, and those airplane explosions are still better than any dog shit CGI buster. Yes, a little bit of a model blowing up, but still holds up.
Oh, that's one thing as well. I think explosions look better real. And one thing, I probably said this nearly every time I've been on your stream, or every time somebody hears me say this in real life, but CGI blood is still terrible. It's not even close to being as good as an old-fashioned squib.
No. they just can't get it right. I know. Unfortunately, Black Creek does have some scenes of fake CGI blood in, but they were on a very limited budget, so they had to, and time. They had a couple of less than 2 weeks to film it.
But talk about good combinations of practical and CG. One effect there, and because the film it's in, it will never get appreciated for being a great special effect. But in the Psycho 1998 remake by Gus Van Sant, there's one part where the opening helicopter shot is a real, genuine helicopter shot. It flies up to this real hotel, and then the camera pans and goes through the window, and it's Annette and Viggo Mortensen in an hotel room together. But the blend of a helicopter shot going into this actual set, and you literally could not. I've seen that film so many times, and you cannot see the joy in it. It's really, really good.
I just saw it once for the first time this year, so
it's not a very fashionable thing to say about seeing Psycho 1998 over and over again, but it's as close as I get to a guilty pleasure. But I still maintain that it's a good movie, but that's what's going on up here, I guess.
Hang on, I'll be right back. Discuss.
Oh, okay. And now I'm the host. I'll try to. Oh, I think I'm actually perfectly in sync because I didn't think I actually would be. Am I? Oh no, I'm a couple of seconds behind. But yes, where was I on my notes? Well, that's one thing about Basil. Didn't have the pipe on his Funko Pop. That was one thing that I thought was interesting. And as well, I've got an actual prop here. I don't know. I mentioned these to Gareth when he comes back. If it's just a northern thing, I don't know what supermarkets have them. But there's these Disney cards at a supermarket called Morrison's. And when you spend a certain amount, they say to you, are you collecting the Disney cards? And like an idiot, I would say, yes, I'm not really collecting them, although this says differently. But excuse me. Oh, hello. Oh,
where are we?
Hello? Oh, yeah. I've just realised I'm pretty much in sync, but I was just I've got another prop here. I don't know.
Showing off again.
Well, this is pretty sad, really. But Morrison, I don't know where in the country Morrison supermarkets are. I think it's just like a northern thing. But Morrison supermarkets are doing this thing where if you spend a certain amount of money, they say, "Oh, you're collecting the Disney cards," and I always just say, "Yeah," just purely for the heck of it. And if I'm asked this many, there's all kinds of different characters, and I keep really hoping that they're going to have something like Basil or Vincent from the Black Hole. And unfortunately, they never do. So it's like, it's been so. These all end up in a charity shop one day, and somebody be
all that 5-finger discount for nothing.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you pressed it. But without Basil, they're worthless.
I think it's interesting. I was actually reading on the Wikipedia page for Basil. When he'll just pop up in like random video games, or he was one of the characters that was like at Disneyland Paris or something like that till like 2004 or something. Like when the characters that greet you and stuff. So
nice. Yeah, I was going, who the fuck is this?
Yes, it's like Mickey Mouse is letting himself go.
Did this? I don't think this was successful.
Well, it's funny you say that because I don't know if I said it earlier on or I meant to. I always thought this was considered a flop. Well, I went on the Wikipedia page and it said it was considered successful and it kept Disney going apparently because they'd had all these flops in a row like Black Hole and Tron and all that kind of stuff. Apparently,
it had a $40 million budget and made $38 million worldwide, which that made its money back.
I've still never understood though to this day how they can tally things like that, because when I mentioned the Savoy earlier on, like my local cinema, they were, as much as I love that cinema, they were kind of like a tin pot operation, and I can't imagine them really calculating that like, oh, this is how many tickets, and especially them little tickets that you've ripped like that, and somebody keep one. Did they really keep all them and send them money back? I mean, I'm sure they probably did because I was probably some big weird tax scam or something.
Gotta be something, yeah.
Yeah.
Although some people would have taken away some of the money from this film by pirating it, of course, which is
those
unforgivable.
those ruffians.
That's £11.99 you owe Disney.
To be fair, do you know one thing though? I really do not like. I know you're joking, but like I sort of, I really, if I can, I always try and buy the proper things, and I always feel like that. Say, like with certain films like Basil, over the years, like I brought so much stuff and so many different things. I feel like it offsets it. I'm frantically trying to come up with a reason that why. Oh look, I have got the. I've got the DVD of that. I don't know if
all right. It's still sealed though, so you obviously watched it
No,
illegally.
I watched it. I don't know where that.
I don't. I got very few Disney DVD. Must have a few hundred VHS of Disney stuff, but that's why I've got 5 copies of bloody Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and 2 of them are still sealed. So.
Well, what's really funny though, because talked about like pirated Disney stuff, but I brought the CD soundtrack to the new Tron movie, and I really wanted to go watch it at the cinema, and I don't know why I didn't, but I managed to get hold of a copy of it, and I watched it just as like a digital download, and I still felt good. I was like, oh, at least I brought the sound. At least I brought the soundtrack. I felt like at least that was something. But one thing as well, though, and I have done this quite a few times though, where and I'm nearly always broke. But even like when say Red Tails come out, the George Lucas World War II movie, I had a DVD copy of that movie, and I'd already seen it, and I went to see that at the cinema. I almost spent like my last bit of money going because I thought I've got out George Lucas, and this is one weird thing that I've got where like George Lucas, he clearly doesn't need more money.
I think how many 8 billion was it for Star Wars?
and I will think like, oh, I will have to go see it at the cinema but that's one thing. I love George Lucas. I really like Red Tails, but that was such a when I think George Lucas spent 55 million making Red Tails, and what a colossal waste of 55 million that was. That nobody talks about that movie. You don't see it anywhere.
I got it on DVD. I did see it when it came out, but not in the cinema.
I think I've got the DVD somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, Ian, get on that. Little Shop of Horrors. So many famous faces. John Candy and Steve Martin.
I love Little Shop of Horrors. That was one of those films, though, absolute complete fluke. One of the very first 5 VHS videos. I can never remember the order, but it was something like Halloween 3, Eddie Murphy Raw, Little Shop of Horrors, and there's a couple of others. But Little Shop of Horrors was one of the very first ones I ever watched. And my niece, who gets the Labyrinth calendar every year, we used to watch that Little Shop of Horrors all the time. I love that movie. That's great.
Feed me Seymour. But yeah,
and that's one thing as well, though. And this sounds like the biggest excuse ever. But with growing up with 3 sisters and 2 nieces, I've watched so many musicals, and I love musicals. And it always makes me think of John Landis when John Landis says his wife thinks he's gay because how much he loves musicals. And I love musicals so much. So it's like, again, frantically try and think of an excuse, but yeah.
A fan of musical theatre there. So yes, now we get the obligatory Sherlock Holmes disguise scene.
I really love this part though, where they go in the bar.
Is this octopus in Roger Rabbit, or is it different? It looks maybe it's just this. There's octopuses in that, but it looks the same style with its big droopy head down.
Well, I don't know, but I'm glad you mentioned it because when I was watching it earlier on, how the hell do you animate an octopus juggling and tap dancing? So that is
take a while.
Just the animator who got that job was like, what? And I still to this day, I've seen so many making ofs of animated movies where you see where they got 3 bits of paper in between their hand and they game between them. It's like, what?
Yeah, just like this, just a tiny amount. A lot of so this bit, the main bit is still, and then the foreground, and there's a couple of things in the background that move just to make it up. But yeah, everything in the background still.
Well, the first few times I ever saw that in animated movies, I thought it was such a genius move that, like,
you're not paying attention to it, so
yeah.
Oh yeah, so we're on about sequels in the 90s. Yeah, take care, Byron. If you're going, where are you? Oh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, there's 3 Lions King films. There's what? There's a sequel to much every other Disney animation. Return
Pretty
to
much,
Neverland and everything.
well, one of the sequels to a Disney animated film that I genuinely think is brilliant is Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure. It is absolute quality. And talking about musical numbers, there's a song called A World Without Fences. And I honestly feel like it's one of the most underrated Disney songs of all time. I feel like if it'd been in something that wasn't like a straight to video sequel, it would be right up there, like considered like great movie songs, or especially Disney songs.
A town without pity can be. Oh no, right. But yeah, I've got a lot of the Disney sequels, but I don't know if I got all of them.
Well, I still think though as well, and I almost pride myself on liking films that don't do very well or don't get remade or sequelized. And I still love to this day that there's never been like a Black Hole 2, or they haven't remade Black Hole, because it's just like, it seems like it's just right there for being remade, and it's like, no.
No.
And I don't know if I've ever said it on a live stream, but one show I loved as a kid, and I don't know whether I'm equally happy or equally sad that it hasn't been remade, is Manimal with Simon McCorkindale.
Yes,
I feel like that. I'm kind of like it's not just me. I feel like that film's got remake written all over it.
Yeah, it's like I know the cinema snob loves it too, but yeah, there's only 10 episodes or something stupid.
Yeah, something like that. And one of my favorite memories, and I always feel like I would love to have seen the guy that got this email, but there used to be a channel in the UK called Zone Thriller. It was like channel 300 or something on Sky. And one day they had a Manimal Day, and they just put every single episode of Manimal in a row. And I went to like the website, and I found like the main guy who owned Zone Thriller, and I sent him an email saying, I'm really glad you had Manimal Day on. And he sent me a reply back saying, oh, thank you. And I really thought, is this guy being sarcastic? And I was like, I knew I wasn't, but I was thinking, he's like, yeah, right.
The Manimal, Street Hawk, and Automan, all just one-off series, less than 12 episodes. And
Automan's
still
brilliant.
stand with me.
I can literally count on 2 fingers though. The only 2 people on TV that I've ever heard mention Manimal, one of them was Hugh McGregor when he was on that motorbike show that he does with Charlie Brooker. There's one part where he fell off and he ate all his hand, and it's all scratched and bubbly and everything. And he said, oh, I look like Manimal. And I was like, oh, why you mentioned Manimal? And then one part, Simon McCorkindale was on this morning, and Ruth Langsford and Eamon Holmes were interviewing him. And Simon McCorkindale said, oh, I did a show in America that wasn't very successful. And straight away, Eamon Holmes said, Manimal. I was like, well, we knew what Manimal was. I was like,
not successful. Wow. Jaws 3 he was in. Well, it wasn't successful, but yeah. Well,
anytime when I watched Simon McCorkindale recently, I feel like he was so like a whisker away from being this giant. Like say, Jaws 3 was obviously successful. I don't know how he wasn't considered to be James Bond.
He must have had the smoothness, but he was blonde, maybe.
And this is not a very flattering thing to say at all, but one show I loved as a kid and love now is an American soap opera called Falcon Crest. And Simon McCorkindale's in there. And the last episode I got to recently, he directed the episode. And I don't think it was just imagination that I was looking out for things because it was Simon McCorkindale. It was dead cool. Like the camera was dead good. The editing was really cool. There's like chase sequences and everything. I was like, so.
Oh, see, everyone's picking stuff they like in your backdrop.
Cheers, thank you, buddy. Oh no, to be fair, I'm only on very sporadically. So if I was on all the time, I'm sure people say, "God, change that poster," or why have you got your tree up in February? We know that Mission in Action poster behind me, though. I often think it's such a cool poster. I was watching one of my YouTube videos from like 7 or 8 years ago, and I was like, I've still got the same poster up. I was like, it's not been there the whole time.
Yes, McCorkindale's in the original Death on the Nile with the 70s one. I forgot about that.
I will have to check. I should know that, but cheers, thanks for the heads up on
that. Hang on, what's this? What's he recommending? Yes, watch me, don't watch anyone else. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, live action, as you say, same director, and was doing his work. Is it live action though, when it's all CGI flying and dragons and everything?
Well, that's a good point there, because I remember my mate saying that like there's so much CGI in modern movies that it's basically almost animated, almost.
Yeah, like Lion King remake was just the whole thing was CGI. So calling it a live action remake. Oh, was McCorkindale in Amadale? That does ring a bell that you might have.
It was Casualty, I think. Because I always remember I never used to watch Casualty, and when I found out, I was like, "Oh, I'd wish I'd watched it just for him." But it's funny you should mention though Emmerdale, because Freddie Jones ended up in Emmerdale, and I was just like, I never used to watch that either. I was like, "Oh my god, Freddie Jones has been in it for like 10 years."
Yeah, saves a lot more time calling it Emmerdale instead of Emmerdale Farm.
Well, even that, the fact that it was called, it used to be called Emmerdale Farm. I mean, that's just madness, really.
As Jack sorted out flooding in top field. Right. So hang on, the film's nearly over. Melody Anderson, yes, the lovely Manimal, and Flash Gordon showing leg.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good call.
So yes, Cynthia Rothrock says, "Awesome to use."
Oh,
okay. With a picture of you holding it up. There you go.
Excellent. But even that, I mean, how crazy is that we're doing like a live stream and you got a message off Cynthia Rothrock? I really appreciate
I know all the
that.
stars. The good ones.
The fact that you can message her directly, though, is crazy. And I don't know if I've said this before, but my friend started as a hobby doing a David Warner fan site. And it eventually became the official David Warner website. And he used to do conventions with him and stuff like that. And we used to joke all the time saying, "Wow, you can phone up David Warner anytime you want." It was like such a cool thing that we were just sitting having a beer going, "Oh, I never would have wanted him to," but I was just like, "Wow, if you phone him now, I'd probably just die." Like, and apparently it was like the sweetest guy. Like they would just talk about like cricket and stuff. And,
I
like,
bet he
was.
Was. Yeah. Damn shame he passed away. Otherwise, I might have been able to get a chat with him. Same with
I was always gutted about David Warner though, because I feel like if you're anybody like in the group we're in now, every single person knows who he is.
Oh yes.
But the number of times I would say, "Oh, my friend runs David Warner's website," and they'd be like, "Who's that?" And I'd be like, "Who's that? He's in it. He's in every film. He's in every film ever made. If you not know who he is."
I love him in Time After Time as Jack the Ripper.
Oh yeah. Oh, good call. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. There you go. Sorry, someone off Emmerdale was a bitch. Absolute cow on Big Brother. But no names. But I think this is safe. There's no email. Yeah, there you go. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, excellent.
Just to prove I'm not lying, I just AI'd that. Right. Oh, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. Why would you remake that as well?
That they're two characters though that almost completely passed me by. I said I'm watching Lion King a lot, but I feel like they're
Bint. Oh, hang on, he's setting up this wicked mouse trap, literally like the game.
You know, I never realised it. Of course, it's a mouse trap. Well, I think when they went in that bar, the bar was called Rat Trap, and I thought that was a kind of. I took me years to notice that. I thought it was the first time I've noticed it today.
Cheeky git. Oh, maybe I am AI. Oh, it must have been made. AI. Cheeky bastards. Right.
I really love this part though, the way the record gets stuck into the safe, and then when he shouts and the needle jumps across.
That's what I still can't work it out. Setting off early makes a big difference because the same thing has to happen. It gets to the end and rolls down, and then it sets him off.
But it's funny as well what affects me in certain ways that, like, you can tell me about some like real world news events and it doesn't bother me. But seeing Basil in this, like, really downtrodden and like, oh, been defeated, it's like, oh, it's like, get over it, no.
Yeah, so I see what you mean. Yeah, she's in a bottle and she's like, they put a green shade over it, but how? And it's rounded and Ratigan's leaning on it, so it's not like they could just put a piece of bloody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you sort of
wrapper on there.
I'm sure it's probably one of them things where it's probably, you know, quote unquote, easier to do than not. But it just freaks me out that, like, I don't know how people can just do that. It's like, it's the first time when I stumbled on Bob Ross though, that like, and I saw Bob Ross doing painting with like a craft knife kind of thing, and just like, and I say this to loads of people as well, like growing up in the 80s. There's an artist named Bob Wakeling that was he did a lot of the covers for video game boxes, and I always thought they were photographs, like they were so cool. Sorry, I spoke over you.
No, I thought you were going to mention a certain Australian who was very clever at drawing.
Oh no! It wasn't that clever, unfortunately.
Oh no! Neighbours ends soon again. The comeback didn't do well then, I guess.
Well, one of my friends used to be a big Neighbours fan, and I was when it ended. I watched the last few episodes, and I felt like, even though I could sort of take it or leave it, I felt like it was a perfect ending. They got everybody back, even like Carly and Guy Pearce and all these all these big huge people, and then they brought it back again. It was like, why they couldn't have ended it any better.
Same with Rambo: Last Blood. It was done. He went home.
Well, that said, though, that is one thing, though, because probably like by rights, like it should have ended like say Rambo 4 or whatever. I am such a sucker for a sequel. Like I really am. That like even now, if like the next like a new Friday 13th film or even like another like episode 10 Star Wars movie, I'd go watch it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's that TV show prequel for Friday the 13th, isn't there?
Well, yeah. Well, that said, though, I love a sequel movie, but these spin-off TV shows, like I'd probably watch like the first episode of this Crystal Lake and then never watch it ever again.
There's Melody Anderson. Let's have a look. She is on Instagram. Does conventions. Maybe. But she's in where is it? The film better than any of the Indiana Jones films, Firewalker, with Lou Gossett Jr. and Chuck Norris. So there you go.
I feel like I don't think I've ever seen that film, which seems wrong. But I thought as well, when Olivia gets kidnapped twice in this movie, it kind of reminded me of Jack Bauer's daughter in 24. Like if she got kidnapped over and over again.
Yeah, the only good bit I remember that's the first episode of season 2 when she's in her underwear. The rest is a blur.
With 24 though, that was one because I normally fall out of favour really fast with TV shows. Like I watched the first couple and then never watch them ever again. I used to really love 24. But then, after so far into it, there was characters that were clearly bad guys that would become good guys, and good characters that were completely good guys that would become bad guys, and vice versa, and back and forth again. I was just like, "Oh, this is just," and I just couldn't cope with it anymore.
What? Pobble comes finished? Oh no! Yes, that's the only bonus. Linda Cardellina is Mrs. Voorhees, but are they going to make her rough looking? Yeah, why are they making Jason's mom hot? Because someone's got a banger. Yes, not missing much, not seeing Firewalker. How dare you, Michael Myers? How dare you?
That's one thing, though, just in real life, but especially like on these live streams, I'm amazed how many people agree and disagree. Like, which be like, yeah, I think that movie is great. Those people are like, what the hell are you talking about?
They disagree with me. They get on timeout for 10 minutes.
That's the one good thing about when you run your stream.
Didn't they bring back Dallas many times, but not season 9?
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Cast in the Sky. I know Islands in the Stream. Is it? Oh, yeah. I was going to say it's not a European film or an American film. It's got Pazuzu in it.
I think there's a song by one of my favorite bands called Thunder with a song called Castles in the Sky. And it might be even is it like a Frankenstein quote? I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, here we go. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. I know you can save us. That'll be pancaked.
He proper looks like he's depressed though as well. I mean, and that's one thing about Disney animators though. I remember seeing like the first 3 or 4 making of Disney films I ever saw, where they would literally just sit in front of a real person and draw him, or like watch an animal how they walk and copy him. And sometimes you think, how are they so realistic? And they literally just draw a real person's face.
Although this record player doesn't have any the record doesn't have any grooves in it, so it's all fake.
Yeah, true. Do you know, I haven't even noticed that before. That's a good point.
How dare they try and trick us? Right, yeah, so this elaborate trap, just like a James Bond one. So let me work this out. So you have to flip the trap.
But it's crazy how it stops it just behind them.
Yeah, but then when would everything else set off? Because the ball just comes down and sets off the trap, which kills it, but then it doesn't show how it sets off the gun and everything else. Oh, yes. Popular Cum is the world's version of Take the High Road. Yes. After the news on ITV, it's on a school day. Do Touchstone count as Disney? Have seen plenty of them? No. That's why they're called Touchstone. Spin-off. Favorite animated film? I don't know. There's not many.
That is a quality question, even though it was aimed at you. So I'm just
like all those manga and things are for kids.
And my taste is always pretty lowbrow. Like probably my favorite animated movie is probably Transformers the movie. But that was even one of them films though where, like, when I saw that film as a kid, I loved that movie, and like it was considered a flop. It was considered all these different things, and I could watch that film at the drop of a hat.
I haven't seen it because I was never into Transformers or GoBots.
I think again, it's one of them films that if it just passes, like some things just pass you by, don't they? I remember watching. I think it was a Culture Dog video, and he's a big fan of like anime and like Japanese, cartoons and all. And even he said the same thing. He was like, "No, I'm not into Transformers. Just never did anything for me." And it's like, even though I love Transformers, to be fair, it's a pretty one-note thing. It's like, here's some robots that turn into cars. It's like,
yeah, if they come from their own planet, why do they turn into cars that they don't have on their planet, or is it just because they're magic and they can change it to one thing only and then stuck with it?
Still one of my favourite jokes of all time. I'm not 100% sure where I read it, but somebody said, we've got this world debt. Who do we owe it to? The Decepticons. And I was just that was a funny joke. It's like...
Yeah, just owe it to each other. Oh, hang on. We're in the final quarter of an hour, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this next bit's going to go so fast. I mean, I was actually surprised earlier on because when it got to the part where they go through the glass in Big Ben and they're in the gears, I wrote something down as some notes on a bit of paper, and when I felt like I looked up, it had that CGI part had finished. I was like, I thought it was way
at least
longer.
10 minutes when I was watching it.
I'm glad you said that because I thought it was on way longer than
that.
that.
I thought it was like a massive fight and then running around here, doing that, falling out the window, hanging there for 10 minutes. But no. Let's just go to the fucking old series here. Bloody Sullivans and sons and daughters, love and laughter. But yeah.
But you know what, though? I'm really glad people are bringing up these shows because even though I wasn't necessarily a fan of them, one thing that I don't think gets really referenced that much when people talk about retro culture, and people always talk about, obviously, clearly going to talk about Back to the Future, Transformers and things like that. But I think so much of people's time was being stuck in, like, an auntie's house or a relative's house or a friend's house, and you was just stuck watching Sons and Daughters or Flying Doctors or something like that,
yes,
or Prisoner Cell Block 8.
You're shit out of luck.
So you would consume that, and you would, even if you were like thinking, "Oh, I can't wait to get home, play on my Spectrum or something," or you were thinking about like a trailer you just saw or something, or a magazine you were looking at, that would be on TV at the same time. So I'm glad people remember this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Flying Doctors, Young Daughters, the Sullivans. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Snuggles, I enjoyed. That was good.
Classic intro. Thank you.
Write an essay on it. Oh no, the Queen's fighting Rattigan. Gentlemen, the Queen. Oh. Yeah,
Imagine how freaky this would have been though for the crowd watching this when the fake Queen starts, like her head goes up dead far and her arms go out like that. I'm surprised they didn't just all turn around and run away.
Arrest that fiend. It's a fight.
And I think I mentioned at the start of this though, how this film had 4 directors, and nearly all animated films have at least 2. But I'm never sure if animated films should have more directors because they're so complicated and they take so
Exactly.
long
It
to
takes
make.
so many months and years to doodle these
But then
things.
again, if they're so time consuming, it just can't just one guy bounce around to every different department and go, yeah, carry on, do what you're doing. I'll come back in 6 months.
yeah, all good. Because there was a cat with no butthole there, which is not like the Cats film. Because apparently, they're making a cat, so the director didn't understand that when they do CGI, it's very basic. Otherwise, it takes months of rendering to make it look real. So they want to get it right first, then render it. But he didn't understand that, so they had to render everything. And then if he didn't like it, they just wasted months.
But isn't that funny though as well when certain films and like I stick up for films all the time, but when just some films can't put a foot right, and that Cats was just doomed, wasn't it? That like it was just like even I think the real big fans of it were like, no,
pass. I think you saw that as well. I think was it Corridor Crew, the ones that do behind the scenes of good and bad CGI.
I meant to mention earlier on, but one thing I vividly remember when I was a kid talking about shows that you'd watch all the time as a kid, but there used to be a show called Disney Time that was on like Bank Holiday Mondays and things like that. And there was one where it was saying about Disney films that were set in London, and they were going through like Peter Pan and 101 Dalmatians and all these different ones. And I don't know why that episode always stuck with me of like, yeah, I wonder how many Disney films are set in the UK.
Well, is one of our dinosaurs missing? Is that a Disney film?
Oh yeah, that is Disney. It's set in the UK. Yeah,
and Mary Poppins.
Of course, yeah.
Golly, Mary Poppins.
Talk about sequels to Disney films, though. I can't get over there's a Mary Poppins 2 that I haven't seen. I find it.
Oh dear, it's not 3 hours long, so good luck with that.
I do like a long film, but a 3 hour long Mary Poppins film does seem like a lot of work.
You got to put the time in for that one. Yeah, there is a. I think it's in the VHS version. There is a Playboy model picture on the wall of this ship, but they've taken it out of the recent ones.
I think you mentioned Who Framed Roger Rabbit earlier on. Like if
I'm very clever, me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he sticks his fingers up.
Anytime somebody mentions The Rescuers, though, and I always tell the story like it's some amazing event in the world of going to the movies, but I'll never forget the cinema that I always used to go to as a kid, the Savoy. Well, the last films I attempted to go see at the Savoy was The Rescuers Down Under. And me and my mate, we were obviously way too old to go watch it really, because we're like 15, 16 or whatever. But we waited in the queue. It was a one-screen cinema. We got right to the counter, and they were like, "Sorry, we sold out." I was like, "Oh." No.
You went, fine, didn't want to see it anyway.
Yeah, he's like,
we'll go to a proper cinema that isn't sold out.
I can't imagine now going to like a one-screen cinema. It seems so weird to be like,
go to the cinema. That's how I grew up with the Commodore and Aberystwyth. One showing a day in the evening, and you think you're missing opportunities there in the holidays and weekends to make some extra money.
But like when I was saying about like how did they tally the money that films made, that like the cinema that you went, the cinema I went, were they really keeping really accurate records? And like Disney were like going, "Oh, with 12 people in there or something," or
yeah,
maybe
like you said, they've got a ticket machine. It pops up a ticket, but I guess there's a counter on it, and they reset it every day. But if they forget or do it somewhere else.
I did actually think, though, watching the bit with the gears at Big Ben earlier on, and I probably have thought it before, but it really hit me. Imagine watching that in 1986 on a giant, big cinema screen. Yeah. I bet that was pretty awe-inspiring.
Yeah, it would look really cool on a big screen. I wonder about the bloody Singer Detective. Yeah, the only thing anyone remembers about freaking Singer Detective is a bloke being greased up by Joanne Whalley dressed as a sexy nurse. That's all I remember, anyway.
Look, I do. You know, it's funny though. Obviously, everybody does remember that scene, but that was one program that was just over my head. Like as a kid, I literally was like, I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on. I used to watch Blot on the Landscape and had no idea what was going on either. Still watch it though.
I do think it's funny about though human intelligence works though, because I feel like I can really get some really out there weird concepts that like you know about like wormholes or alternate realities or whatever, blah blah, just like crazy ass concepts, and then like I still don't know, and you'll attest to this by trying to read my comments in live streams that my spelling is all over the place, and my mate makes fun of me all the time because the word as as and the word as has. I still don't know which ones to use in a sentence. Loads times I'll send my friend a message and we go, "You've used the wrong as again." I'm like, I don't know which one's which.
Oh, Ratigan's dead. There we go. Oh no, he's taking Holmes Basil with him.
Suddenly dead kill it.
So yes, a tragic story about Labyrinth. The first only time my dad took me to the cinema was to see Labyrinth, and when we got there, it wasn't showing, so we bought sweets and came home. My dad used to take me, but then he didn't watch the films. If we went to Newquay, he just went somewhere else, and then if we went to Aberystwyth, he'd go out smoking outside on his pipe. He left halfway through Big Trouble in Little China. I don't think he came back for the ending of that. It's
funny about things like that though that stick with you, and I only thought about this like the last 2 or 3 years, but I used to go to the cinema with my dad quite a bit. My sister used to take me to the cinema. My best mate and his mum all the time. But my own mum, I never went to the cinema once with her, ever. And I was just like, how did that happen?
No, I never went with my mother either. The last film she saw in the cinema was Jaws, and she left when the dog got killed and never went back. Oh, maybe Annie. I think she went back with Annie, but I didn't want to see that.
Well, to be fair, both of those stories make total sense. So
But there we go, we're done. Basil has prevailed.
In that case, it doesn't seem like 2 seconds since this film started. I love about this film though as well. Under the credits, when the credits are like coming on screen, there's chimneys in the background and the smoke is continuously moving throughout the credits. I don't know why I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, all that because it's a good few minutes of credits, so that's a lot of frames to paint, unless they just put it on a loop.
And as well, I love this song. I think it'd be a great song. It's a great end credit song, but I feel like it'd be good to use at any event where people are leaving, like goodbye, farewell, and like it just. I feel like I said to my friend when I was watching it earlier on because he's a football fan. I said, "Oh, it'd be funny to use this as a football ground." And as soon as I said it, I was like, "I bet you'll get to use quite a lot if you use this at your football ground when people were leaving."
Last time Mike's mum went to cinema was Predator. But yeah, Gina Bellman, sorry. Yes, very sexy eyes. I remember black eyes. She's in Adult Silent Trigger with Dolph, but yeah. Real Run was lucky enough to see Jurassic Park opening weekend. 18 screens, and they showed only Jurassic Park on a staggered schedule all weekend, and it was still sold out. His dad got 4 tickets. That's it. I booked mine. I remember booking my tickets for Jurassic Park a week in advance, and then going to like a midnight showing.
Well, it's funny that should get mentioned because I've noticed in loads of, in let's say 2 or 3 years, well, 5 years probably, that loads of adverts in new films will say book tickets now, and it's like you're never not going to not be able to go see a film. Maybe the midnight showing, maybe. There's no way all the showings the next day are going to be sold out. Like.
Wow, there was Tron Ares.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, there was the story of Tron Ares where what's his name? Who's the lead guy in it?
Oh my god, I can picture him really vividly.
Yeah, he turned up at one of the cinemas to view it with the people, and there was barely anyone in the screen watching it.
That must be really insulting for the actor. And then the people there, but what a great story. It's like I saw the main guy.
Jared Leto, that's him, yes.
Jared Leto, yeah. I nearly said Heath Ledger, but that's the other guy.
Right, there we go. It's over that quick. An hour and 12 minutes. So yeah, based on Basil Vacant Street book series, which I've never seen or heard of before or since.
Well, when I mentioned John Landis earlier on, one of my favourite John Landis quotes that if you can say it's based on a book, it instantly sounds better. It's like, yeah, it's just not a random idea. It's based on a book.
Bastion, but Framed Roger Rabbit is peerless. That's because it is joint, isn't it? They didn't just have Disney, otherwise it wouldn't have been as good. Yeah, midnight showings always full of pissheads and old pervs. Who's that? Actually, the ones I went to in Swansea, the city by the bay, it was quite nice. It was very restrained compared to these days.
Well, George Fisher mentioned midnight showings are full of weirdos. I always remember somebody saying this, and it really stuck with me, that somebody who said the local ABC cinema, they were always grateful that they had early morning showings because they would just have random people in there, like homeless people or people that got nothing else to do. And I always thought that was kind of sweet that, like, it was like, obviously, if you were in that screening, you'd probably be like, oh, why am I with all these people, whatever. But I always thought that was kind of a nice thing. That was just like, yeah, just all the randoms would go in there at like 9 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah. Right, let's have a little preview of Christmas Eve here.
Hey, that's not a very friendly greeting, is it? I must say. Come here, look. How are you?
Well? You daft,
Hey, old man, remind you of hot chicken.
Well, now you've done it, I better use it. I better go in and christen it. So
Don't trust him with the
all
bloody
inside
Christmas
me
money.
piece.
Is that the toilet she's in?
Dad, you frightened me just walking in like that.
Didn't mean to, love. Hey, got something for you.
It's a Christmas spirit.
Hey.
I haven't got you anything.
That's okay, love. Will you be able to change it all right?
And you change it behind the bar.
Did you take a check there, Dave?
Yeah.
I probably would. I don't think I've ever really had many checks positive, to be honest. This is like watching a show from another universe now. This is like watching something seen in David Lynch movie.
Unidentifiable these days.
Mince pies, love. You got to have one.
This is the highlight. They get mince pie that's home baked.
Any sign of a job yet?
No.
Don't worry about it.
At first, I was just trying to pick, because I thought I wasn't sure how long the clip was going to be, and I thought it was going to be something I would have to like.
Every loser wins.
Dad's come to see me for Christmas, love.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, listen, thanks for helping me out.
That's all right. Merry Christmas.
There's so many of these soaps though, like EastEnders, Coronation EastEnders.
Yep.
I can't believe that they're still going. Like, I don't know hardly anybody that watches them anymore. I mean,
Yes.
Oh. Thing to ask about.
Oh, Arthur.
So private. Can't be personal, Pauline.
No, Mum. What Pauline means is it to your liking? Do you think you'll be happy out there?
It's freezing, but it'll do.
I'm still always surprised that Pauline Fowler was there now being served. I don't know why. It always kind of catches me off guard. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, the sexy bird from that. Uh-oh. It's a good old-fashioned knees up, which we'll be doing Christmas Eve. Watching stuff like this. I don't think it's... We haven't been taken down, so I don't think we're copyrighted yet. I don't recognise some of these.
I still can't get over though. I own the Anita Dobson single for the theme tune to this movie. I guess I had more spare money than I thought in the 80s.
Oh, blimey. Well, some are not happy, but we'll have to watch the whole episode.
Happy Christmas, Martin.
Bloody hell, that's Martin. He's like 40 now, so...
I almost admire though sometimes though with these episodes, especially with scenes like this, like when people say, "Oh, you won't do this anymore, you don't do this anymore." I feel like they're so, quote unquote, depressing that like it does something kind of sweet about that to me. Jim Hawkins, isn't that the guy from?
Oh yes,
Recovering from Christmas.
but yes. Oh, hang on. They were talking about something. Oh, fuck. I mean, they didn't record it. There you go. So yeah, I'll be showing the beginning of the episode on Christmas Eve, not the ending there. But there we go.
What's funny about that though, because I don't know if you'd mentioned it, we're going to put that on, it kind of really threw me that I was just like, oh wow. I was just like, and the volume level was very slightly, I couldn't hear you very well, but I could hear that really clear. So I was like, I was just like, kind of trying to pay attention in case I was missing anything.
Yeah, right. Now, what was Arthur wearing?
I was saying I was paying attention.
What colour cardigan?
I think I know, but
it's not the Crimson Fatty. Don't worry about it.
I think was it grey? Was it grey and black?
I think it was grey. It was like light blue or grey. It was dark.
Black arms there or something. I know I've said this before. As I've said that before, though, but that is one job. I like to think that I'm a relatively good editor. I'd like to think that I've got a good eye for setting up a shot, but continuity, I'll be the world's worst continuity person on a movie.
Yeah, I can't literally. People point things out and say, "Oh yeah, I've seen that fucking film 1,000 times."
Oh yeah, I never notice mistakes. And once somebody points a mistake out to me in a film, I notice it then for the end of time. Yeah, I really don't like having mistakes pointed out for me.
That's why
the best mistake ever I've ever seen on a film is in Dawn of the Dead when they land on the roof of the mall and they look into the window and like you see some shop dummies in there, and then you see it again a second later and they're completely different. It's like
so we got oh, hang on. It wasn't.
Thanks for helping me out.
In fact, someone's got it. Ah, shit. There, see, it was dark blue, see. Oh, he did say blue with a fair isle pattern, so I think he is correct.
It's not working. That was next level answer. That was awesome.
Bloody hell, Ian. Yes, Disney standard, everyone's a woke stereotype. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
What's funny though as well, I probably said this before though as well, but because I'm so used to being in these streams, just talking to people via like text, that it seems weird to actually just seeing even though I've been on a few of these streams, it seems funny to still see people's names and it's saying, "Oh, hi Dave, you're right." Well, but it's less like, "Oh, I can actually reply with my mouth."
Yes. New documentary out about video rental source, Video Heaven, narrated by Maya Hawkes. Ooh. Where is that?
Good.
Oh, he's off to finish the studio. Highly recommended. I don't know that one.
I don't know that either.
I don't know Chloe Era from Home and Away. I never watched Home and Away.
Yeah, Home and Away. I really passed me by.
The twins of Home and Away. Listen. What's the other one? I've been talking about all night instead of Basil. Anyway. Oh, Albion Market doesn't get any mentions.
Do you know what though? It really doesn't, Ian. And anytime somebody mentions Home and Away, one of my favourite ever things that I've ever seen on TV, and it caught me off guard when I saw it, was in Home and Away. Somebody had a phone call from the UK and he said, "Can you tell me what's happening in Neighbours?" And I was just like, "That's like now it's like a shared universe and like everything's like referencing other stuff." I was like, "What?"
Awesome, yes. Right, let's go. The tape's rewinding. I can hear it in the background. Plus, what are we doing tomorrow night? Box Office America tomorrow night. So, could be the last time we see Back to the Future. So,
well, Joe, what's funny though? The last time you did it, I was really, really surprised where people were like, "Oh God, Back to the Future." So I'm so used to people being like, "Yay, Back to the Future, yay!" Because I've ruined Back to the Future. And like, no, it's like because you just see it so much, people are like, "Oh God, Back to the Future."
But we've got 5 Christmas films, 5 sequels, 2 Bond films, 2 Travolta films, 2 Rockies, and 3 young adult franchises for tomorrow.
And as well, I'll say this quick while I think about it, but I got a TV guide for it. Like it was like a cheap one for like £1.80 for what's on over Christmas. And I was just marking stuff off just purely for the heck of it. And on BBC 3 on like Christmas Eve, they've got all the Back to the Future films on. Back to the Future got 5 stars, which is, obviously it's a classic movie. Back to the Future 2 got 3, and Back to the Future... So Back to the Future 2 got 3, yeah. Back to the Future 3 got 4. And that's the very first time I've seen Back to the Future get more stars than Back to the Future 2.
So I think, I think it's January 1st. Yeah, is when Batman Forever will finally make an appearance because we missed it at the beginning of the year when it came out.
That should be
yeah, I couldn't take that much excitement from him watching Batman Forever. We'll have to get something else that's lame he doesn't like. Okay, right, let's go.
Cheers,
Time's
all.
over. Everyone's going to be here. I kind of, well, if he reduces his rates, Google Home Away Sophie nowadays.
Oh,
maybe later.
That's a good question.
When I'm on my own. All right. So thanks for Dave for stepping in and watching one of his favorite films. So it's not difficult.
Yeah, it's not exactly.
Where was he when Beast of Heat was on?
I would have done that too, to be fair.
All right. Yes. Nighty night, all. God bless me. See you in the morning. Not too early. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I'm leaving this fucking stream instead of ending it. Right, hang on. Yeah. Say goodbye. Say goodnight to Ramon and Dave. Oh, now we got some. There you go. Movie fan. Gonna watch something good now. Ooh, he says that every time.
Controversial.
Haven't done anything good according to Ramon, but thank you for being here anyway. Right, now I will end it properly. Good night.
Bye.
Ciao, Constable.
Ciao?
Ciao. That's a familiar Italian expression meaning goodbye.